It's 2:17 in the morning. Your room is completely dark. The only light comes from your laptop. A green candle suddenly shoots upward. 5%, 10%, 20%, in less than a minute. Your heart starts racing. You whisper to yourself, "I should have bought more." You refresh the chart again. Another green candle. Another all-time high. Your phone vibrates. Crypto Twitter is exploding. Discord notifications won't stop. Someone claims they just turned $500 into $50,000. Another says Bitcoin is going to $1 million. A YouTuber tells you this is only the beginning. And for a brief moment, it feels like the easiest money in the world. But nobody posts what happens 6 months later. The empty portfolio. The sleepless nights. The coins that never recovered. The screenshots that quietly disappear. The sick feeling of watching life-changing profits become painful losses. Because crypto has a strange way of introducing itself. First, it makes you believe you're a genius. Then, it asks a simple question. Were you ever one? This isn't the story of Bitcoin, or Ethereum, or the next meme coin. This is the story of what crypto slowly does. To the person staring at the screen. The fear, the greed, the obsession, the silence, the patience, the transformation. Because every successful crypto trader started exactly the same way. Not with knowledge, not with discipline, but with a dream. And every dream eventually meets reality.
Level 1. The discovery. It doesn't begin with money. It begins with curiosity. Maybe a friend sends you a message. Bro, have you seen Bitcoin? Maybe it's a YouTube thumbnail. How I made $100,000 with crypto. Maybe it's a TikTok video showing someone buying a Lamborghini before their 25th birthday. Whatever it wasn't the charts that pulled you in. It was possibility. For the first time, money didn't seem locked behind promotions, degrees, or decades of working. It felt reachable. That night, you search one simple question. What is cryptocurrency? One video becomes 5. 5 become 20. Soon, every recommendation looks the same. Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, bull markets, bear markets, wallets, exchanges, NFTs, meme coins. Everything feels confusing. But strangely, the confusion doesn't scare you. It excites you. Because hidden inside every unfamiliar word, you imagine hidden opportunity. You start following crypto creators, reading comments, watching interviews, listening to podcasts while driving, checking prices before brushing your teeth, checking prices before going to sleep. Without realizing it, crypto quietly becomes part of your daily routine. The numbers stop looking random. They begin feeling personal. You imagine what life would look like if you had bought Bitcoin years ago. You promise yourself, I won't miss the next opportunity. That's the sentence almost every crypto trader says, right before making their first mistake. Because opportunity looks very different when real money is involved. Curiosity eventually becomes confidence. Confidence eventually becomes action. And action has consequences, especially in a market that never sleeps. Level 2. The first BUE. It's Friday evening. Your paycheck finally arrives. You open your exchange. Your finger hovers over the buy button. For a moment, you hesitate. This is money you worked for. Money that took weeks to earn. One click, and it's exposed to one of the most volatile markets on earth. You take a deep breath. Click. Order filled. Just like that. You're officially a crypto investor. At first, nothing happens. You stare at the chart anyway. Every tiny movement feels important. Up 1%. Down 0.5%. Back up again. Your emotions follow every candle. The next morning, your portfolio is green. Only a little, but enough to make you smile. You begin calculating impossible numbers. If this keeps growing, I could retire early. What if I buy more? The market rewards your excitement. Your portfolio doubles, then triples. Friends who laughed at crypto suddenly ask for advice. Family members who ignored investing now want to know which coin to buy. You feel different, smarter. Luck starts disguising itself as skill. And that's the dangerous part, because bull markets create confidence long before they create experience. One green week convinces you, you've figured everything out. You stop researching. You stop questioning. you stop respecting risk. Every coin looks like a future millionaire. Every dip looks like free money. Every influencer sounds like an expert. Your portfolio keeps growing. So does your ego. You aren't investing anymore. You're chasing the feeling, the excitement, the possibility that one trade could change your entire life. Then, one ordinary Tuesday, the market opens red. You aren't worried. It's just a pullback. Wednesday arrives. Another red candle. Thursday. Another. Friday. Your profits disappear. You tell yourself it'll bounce. It doesn't. You buy more. It drops again. You average down. Again and again. Because admitting you're wrong feels harder than losing money. For the first time, you don't check the chart because you're excited. You check it because you're scared. The market hasn't changed, but you have. The confidence is gone. Hope replaces logic. Fear replaces patience. And deep down, you already know. The hardest part of your crypto journey hasn't even begun. Level 3. The Bull Market Genius. 3 months later. Everything is green. Bitcoin breaks another all-time high. Ethereum follows. Coins you've never heard of suddenly explode. 20%, 50%, sometimes 200% overnight. You wake up every morning, already richer than you were the night before. Your portfolio becomes the first thing you check, before your messages, before breakfast, before the weather. Crypto becomes your reality. Your coworkers talk about sports. You're thinking about Solana. Your family watches television. Your refreshing trading view. Even while eating dinner, one eye stays on the chart. The market never sleeps. Neither do you. Then something strange happens. You stop believing you're lucky. You begin believing you're talented. Every coin you buy goes higher. Every tweet confirms your opinion. Every YouTube video sounds like proof. You start giving advice. Just buy the dip. Bitcoin is definitely going higher. This cycle is different. People begin listening. For the first time, you feel important, successful, almost unstoppable. But bull markets have a dangerous habit. They make everyone look like a genius. The market isn't rewarding your skill. It's rewarding your timing. Unfortunately, you don't know the difference yet. One evening, you calculate your future. If my portfolio doubles one more time, I'll quit my job. If this keeps going, I'll never have to work again. You aren't thinking about risk anymore, only possibilities. And that's exactly when the market begins preparing its next lesson. Nothing crashes overnight. First, the market becomes quiet, then uncertain. Then, suddenly, everything changes. Level 4. The Bag Helder. It starts with one red candle. Nothing unusual. Markets pull back all the time. You smile. This is healthy. You even buy more. Because every influencer says the same thing. Buy the dip. Then another red candle appears. Then another. 1 week later, your biggest winner is no longer your biggest winner. 2 weeks later, half your gains disappear. Your confidence doesn't. Not yet. You keep telling yourself, it'll recover. You stop checking profits. You start checking hope. The market falls another 20%, then 30, then 50. People who posted screenshots every day disappear. Crypto Twitter becomes quiet. Discord servers empty. The YouTubers who promised endless wealth upload fewer videos. The excitement is gone. Only silence remains. You stare at your portfolio. The numbers don't even feel real anymore. You aren't asking, how much can I make? You're asking, how much is left? You stop telling your friends about crypto. You stop opening the app in public. You avoid conversations about investing. Not because you're embarrassed, because you're exhausted. For months, you watched your account grow. Now, you watch it slowly disappear. Every morning, you hope today is the reversal. Every night, the chart says otherwise. Eventually, something breaks. Not your account, your expectations. For the first time, you stop believing crypto owes you anything. And strangely, that's where your real education begins. The people who came for easy money quietly leave, but a small group stays. Not because they're making money, because they're finally asking better questions. Level 5. The Servivore. Almost 18 months have passed. The headlines are different now. Crypto is dead. Bitcoin will never recover. Blockchain was just a bubble. You read those headlines without emotion because you've heard them before. The market feels empty. Charts barely move. Nobody asks you about crypto anymore. Your phone is quiet. The excitement has completely disappeared. Ironically, this is where your transformation begins. You stop chasing hype. You start studying cycles. You learn why markets expand, why they collapse, why fear and greed repeat every few years. For the first time, you realize something. The biggest enemy wasn't volatility. It was your own impatience. You begin keeping notes, not about coins, about yourself. Why you bought, why you sold, why you panicked, why you ignored your own plan. Slowly, patterns appear. Every bad decision had one thing in common: emotion. Every good decision came from patience. That's when your strategy changes. No more random entries, no more chasing pumps, no more buying because everyone else is buying. You finally build rules, simple rules, rules you can actually follow. For the first time, crypto feels boring. And surprisingly, that's exactly why you're improving. Because real investing rarely feels exciting. The market hasn't rewarded you yet, but something far more valuable has already happened. You've stopped trying to become rich overnight. You've started trying to become consistent. And consistency is something the next bull market rewards more than anything else. Years ago, you entered crypto searching for quick money. Now, you're searching for something completely different: control. Because the next cycle won't test your knowledge. It will test the person you've become. Level 6. The disciplined investor. Another year passes. The market slowly comes back to life. Bitcoin climbs, then pauses, then climbs again. This time, you don't feel the rush. You don't refresh your portfolio every 5 minutes. You don't buy because someone on YouTube says, this coin will do 100x. Instead, you wait. Your watch list is ready. Your plan is written. Your emotions finally have a seat in the back. One evening, a perfect setup appears. A younger version of yourself would have gone all in. Today, you risk only what your plan allows. No excitement, no shaking hands, no racing heartbeat, just one click. Then silence. You close the laptop, go for a walk, watch the sunset. For the first time, your life doesn't depend on the next candle, because you've learned something. The market pays patience, not obsession. Every trade no longer feels like life or death. It's simply another probability. Some win, some lose. Neither changes who you are, and that's when you notice something strange. Your account starts growing faster. The moment you stop watching it every minute, the money begins returning. But this time, something inside you has changed. You're no longer chasing profits. You're protecting peace. Level 7 Welch Bewilder. It's another bull market. The headlines are back. Bitcoin hits new all-time high. Crypto millionaires are everywhere. The same excitement returns. The same influencers return. The same predictions return. Only one thing is different. You. This time, you already know how the story ends. You take profits. Not because you're scared, because it's part of the plan. You diversify. Some money stays in Bitcoin. Some moves into long-term investments. Some becomes cash. You no longer measure success by portfolio screenshots. You measure it by the freedom you've created. You pay off debt, help your parents, take a vacation without checking charts every 10 minutes. You sleep through market crashes because your future no longer depends on one asset. You finally understand. Real wealth isn't created by one lucky trade. It's protected by thousands of disciplined decisions. People begin asking, which coin should I buy? You smile, because they're asking the wrong question. The better question is, what kind of person do I need to become to keep wealth after I build it? Most people never ask that. That's why most people lose everything when the next cycle begins. Years pass. Markets continue doing what they've always done. Rise, fall, recover, repeat. But your greatest transformation has nothing to do with crypto anymore. Level 8. The CRYPTO Veteran. It's 6:30 on a quiet Sunday morning. The coffee is warm. The room is silent. The charts are open. But you're not staring at them anymore. You're simply observing. Bitcoin moves. Ethereum moves. The market keeps doing what markets have always done. Nothing surprises you now. Not the crashes, not the rallies, not the fear, not the euphoria. You've lived through all of it. You remember your first buy, your first panic sell, your first sleepless night, your first massive gain, your first devastating loss. Back then, every candle controlled your emotions. Today, every candle is just information. That's the difference. The younger version of you wanted to get rich. The older version protects peace. You finally understand something. Crypto never changed your life because of the money. It changed your life because it changed you. It taught patience, humility, discipline, risk, responsibility. It forced you to face greed, ego, fear, hope. It revealed every weakness until there was nowhere left to hide, and somewhere along that journey, without even realizing it, you stopped becoming a crypto trader. You became someone who could handle uncertainty. That lesson reaches far beyond markets. It changes business, relationships, money, life itself. Because uncertainty is everywhere. Somewhere tonight, a teenager is downloading a crypto exchange for the very first time. He's watching the same videos you watched, reading the same comments, believing the same promises, dreaming the same dreams. He has no idea that the market he's about to enter will challenge far more than his wallet. It will challenge his patience, his discipline, his confidence, his identity. Years from now, he'll probably remember the first coin he ever bought, just like you still do. Maybe he'll lose everything. Maybe he'll become wealthy. But one thing is certain. If he stays long enough, the market will slowly strip away every illusion until only truth remains. Because crypto was never just about digital money. It was always about human psychology. Fear buying the top, greed refusing to sell, hope holding too long, patience waiting quietly while everyone else chases excitement. And in the end, the people who survive aren't the smartest. They aren't the luckiest. They aren't the ones who found the perfect coin. They're simply the ones who allowed every cycle to transform them. One crash, one recovery, one lesson at a time. The charts will keep moving. New coins will appear. Old coins will disappear. Another bull market will come. Another bear market will follow. The cycle never stops. And somewhere, as one crypto veteran quietly closes his laptop, another beginner has just placed his very first buy. The journey begins again. Welcome to the 5% Trader.